Okay, good morning everybody. Got an action-packed day today. We're starting off with Blue-White Control featuring 4 One Rings. I've been receiving the question kind of non-stop. Spike, if you're going to play Blue-White Control, should you play the ring? And I've been saying, yeah, you should play 4. And we're doing it. We're doing it today. Good morning, Spikelings. I am the reason WotC still supports MTGO. Sorry, I can't read the one and... Only friend Aspiringspike, and welcome to my Shark Typhoon. I've got a special guest for y'all today. A brand new card in Modern. It's one that nobody thinks has any potential, but might be a fringe playable. The Wandering. Can a 4-mana artifact make it a Modern? Can Verdict save us from a board of full creatures? Will I ever stop asking these types of questions? Stay tuned to find out. Thank you, Chess. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, Teferi bounces the ring. Big synergy here. So, the ring is the best card advantage spell in Modern. Full end of sentence. Best card advantage spell in Modern. And it's also one that stabilizes you really hard. It makes a lot of sense in a blue-white control deck. Unlike 4-color Omnath that has access to Omnath to gain a lot of life, I do think the life loss of the One Ring is a much bigger cost here than it is in other shells. I considered playing Cosmic Rebirth as a way to gain life and mitigate the downside of the ring a little bit. I ended up deciding that it was very hard to fit the prerequisite 3-drops that we have here and Rebirth in the deck, but you can maybe cut the Reprieve or the Chalice, and you don't even necessarily need to play more than just the Zagoth Triome in the breeding pool. I think that would likely be fine if you have one copy, maybe with 2 copies you want one more green source. Probably not, though. It's probably fine. Another card that I think is this card, Force of Negation, is a card that I think has gotten much better in Modern as of the last month, 2 months. And is also a card that plays really well with and against the ring. It's good to fill up your hand, pitch, and just draw a lot of cards. And it's also good to counter opposing rings, counter creativities. There's more Cascade decks at the moment. And I will say this, that I actually think that with 4 rings, 4 Force of Negations, this is probably a blue-white list that's actually good against creativity. Which is something that is pretty unique, and one of the main reasons blue-white's been, having some issues. We also get to play Rest in Peace back in the sideboard pretty easily because they're playing Ring over Deluge. You no longer have the Rest in Peace Ring Deluge tension anymore. And also 3 Verdicts I think is really nice, where when you slam the ring, your opponent's going to commit to the board, and then boom, you just sweep up the board and Verdict them. That's minimum. Sometimes I do 14 if I'm feeling spicy. Wow, we won the die roll. Game over. Keeping the blind on the play. Any thoughts to Narset with all the ring out there? Well, we have a couple Narsets in the deck. I do think Narset is a lot better than she was pre-ring. I think that I've seen some blue-white lists playing 4 Narsets and Days Undoing. I'm kind of a Days Undoing hater, although I do lose to it sometimes. But I also am kind of a 4 Narset hater. I think it's a card that you just don't want to draw that many copies of a lot of the time. Alright, Scalding turn go. If this was the PT, we just have open deck list, and I get to know if I'm playing Chalice on 0 against Living End or Chalice on 1 against Blue-White. I guess, I think my hand is actually so good against Living End, I'm just going to Chalice on 1. If this is a deck that Chalice on 1 is weak to, this draw we really need to cast this turn. And if it's Living End, we have Counterspell, Force of Negation, Teferi, so it's not the end of the world either. They're also not immediately letting it resolve, so... Or they're not... So, I maybe just not Living End. Yeah. Oh, sorry. That should not be F6. Kaheera Triome Fiery Islet makes me think Rhinos, so... would have been better again, too. Oh, also, I guess if it is... I mean, I guess Teferi in play stops Cascade. I have to draw a white source, of course. Awkward. That's okay, though. Echo of Aeons or Days of Doing, which is better? Well, Echo is, way better if you just get in the yard for free, which is not very easy to do. Trith with the 21 months, thank you. So let's hope they don't have a Force of Negation. If they do, we can still possibly slam the ring and be in reasonable shape. Can't force back if they have one. Extended 2. They pitched a Murktide regen. I think Blue-White Control is the best version of Control. I mean, it kind of depends on, like, how loose your definition of Control is, maybe. But I do think that you could make an argument for color Omnath being better at the moment. I mean, let's not pack it in quite yet, but obviously stinks to just not draw White Source this game. Also, again, if this... I will say that if this was open decklist like the PT, there's a good chance we're winning, because just Chalice on 0. That knowledge is way better. I think with only 2 lands, it was right to not wait on the Chalice and the blind. This could be one of the most common matchups with the PT. Could it? Maybe. I don't know if blue-white is going to be really this popular. Maybe it will be. Yikes. I'm even up a white source from what I usually play. I'm up to 2. I'm down to island, up at plains. I guess I'm also down to Mystic Gate, so maybe that's a kind of a wash. That's okay. We have a lot of sideboard cards to bring in. I'm gonna cut the endings, the pendings. I'm gonna keep the verdicts in. Sometimes I think I have too many cards in this matchup, and that like I probably shouldn't actually bring in like the Moonlights because I just have so many 2-mana counter or Rhino type card. Although Moonlight's really nice because it also draws a card. But the actual counter spells get Blood Moon and stuff, which is nice. Let's cut the Narsets and let's just play 1 Moonlight. No win cons. We have win cons. We have Hall of the Storm Giants, we have Solitude, we have Kaheera, which I think is plenty. Isn't Pending better than Binding? Nope. Binding is almost always going to be 1 mana answer permanent. Prismatic Ending is oftentimes not in this matchup. Very awkward hands. Isn't Pending just better? Your Rhino's opponents have more cards than Rhinos in their deck. They have Murktide Regions, they have Furies, they have Brazen Borrowers, they have Bone Crusher Giants, they have Blood Moons. They have more than just Rhinos in the deck. Binding looks awkward. They're playing Murktide Regent in their deck! I want Leyline Binding! IZE with the 12 months, thank you. Your mana base feels bad. Alright, Toad Zguk. I'm already losing it. What would you change about my mana base? What card from my mana base would you change here? Time. Happy to get this feedback. I cut a Plains for Mystic Gate, maybe. I actually cut the Mystic Gate for the Plains. But that could be fine. Do we use Counterspell or Force here? Let's use the Counterspell. Then you want to test the new card Reprieve, but wouldn't Moonlight be better in this matchup post-board? I have a Reprieve in the main deck. Reprieve is better than Hallowed Moonlight. Reprieve is better than Hallowed Moonlight in this matchup. They both counter Rhinos draw a card, you don't care about it going back to their hand, and the Reprieve can target any other spell on the stack. Reprieve is better than Moonlight. Red Winds with the 23 months, thank you. Why choose to cut Mystic Gate? I wanted that a second Plains for Blood Moon matchups. Frost with the 5-pack, thank you. If you gotta give stuff for Frost, make sure to thank him. Main phase. Let's go ahead and let this resolve. We have 2 verdicts in our hand. Yeah, we're in the Spike defends the deck portion of the stream. Just chatting. Yeah, Solitude crazy draw there. I don't think I should force the fire. Kind of close. So Hall's the only win con. We have Solitude, Kaheera, Hall. I think we're gonna have no problem closing any games this league. Is my prediction. I have no worries about that not being enough. Wouldn't Prismatic Ending be better here? I guess they're both 3 mana. This one at least has flash. Was there a stream yesterday? Yeah, we streamed for like almost 8 hours yesterday. Or sorry, almost 7 hours yesterday. Alright, they let it go. Why Pool over Steamens if you played Wear Tear? Maybe we should have Steamens now. I was playing Pool because it casts Kaheera, which is like relevant in this spot. Let's go ahead and use the Force of Negation here. We have Verdict to like pretty cleanly clean up some more Rhinos. Any thoughts on a split of Archmage Charm versus Force, or is the free ability too important? I think Force is really, really good right now. I think Charm is also worse. So I mostly just kind of want to play the cards that I think are better at the moment. Very, very simply put, I guess. Alright, love to trade Kaheera for a card here. Alright, love to draw a Teferi or Ring. Feels like you're missing ways to draw cards end of turn. Sure. Like, again, like the trade-off is like that is what Archmage's Charm does, yeah. But the trade-off is, of course, being able to play the best card advantage card in the format, and like Ring plays so well with the Forces is, I think, really appealing. They're bouncing my Binding, which is a bit odd. I'm not gonna, I think, react to that. Okay, so we'll just set up for a 2-for-1 Verdict here. Thank you, Wake. One copy of Born Up the Wind in response to Supreme Verdict or Ring of Teferi. Born Up on the Wind. Is that a card name? You may cast spells as turns that they have flash, draw a card. That card is just too expensive. I would never play that card in this deck, no. Just make your mana spells cost 2 mana. The flexibility of playing them at instant speed is not worth it, unfortunately. A cool card, though. If they Violent Outburst, we'll let it resolve. I will pay here, also. Let's draw a card. If we draw a blue source, we have Counterspell or any land is binding up. Force is also pretty good, I guess. Maybe it plays into like another fire, but even if they do, it's just another 2-for-1. Yeah, Force is definitely a very good draw. Looks like we're gonna win this game. So have game 3 to play. They only have 1 card. When did we get so ahead on cards? I guess the Verdict was a 2-for-1. They fired my Kaheera. I guess they drew 1 more land than me too. Oh, they have a Murktide. Oh man, I'm just... Any chatters? Any chatters? Isn't Prismatic Ending just better than Binding? Blue-white players just hate Binding. Blue-white players hate Leyline Binding. They are so unhappy to register the card. But it is very often, although we took a while to get to main this game, I guess. Very often, 1 mana exile a permanent. Yeah, it's a very dreamy card too, right? Ivan, 4 months, thank you. Yeah, Binding is so sick. I know not everybody is like this. I should just reprieve the Footfalls. Right. Do I want to bring in a Narset? On the draw, probably not, no. Could have been nice to have one on the play. Someone who recommend Naruto, would you recommend Boruto? I have consumed almost no Boruto content. Maybe like, I like a couple of like, I've seen a couple clips from the show. But I don't really know anything about it, so I can't really recommend it or not. But for me, it's not something. Moonlight for Rhinos. I think I've won too many sideboard cards for the matchup. Because, again, it's just like, look how many cards we have to answer Rhinos. We have 3 Chalice of the Void. We have 3 Dovin's Veto. We have Reprieve. We have Force of Negation. We have Supreme Verdict. We have Teferi Time Raveler. We have so many ways to invalidate the Rhinos. But I think it can be very easy to play, like, I think the best way to lose to Rhinos as blue-white is to play too many cards that deal with Rhinos, and you lose to the Borrowers, or the Furies, and the Murktides. Should be able to just play Plains, actually. Be a little bit awkward with the Hall, I think it's fine. Watch the Boruto movie. Yeah, I heard the Boruto movie was good. I don't know. I just really don't have any interest in the show. Just doesn't feel like it's for me, I guess. Love to draw a Chalice or Teferi, but Supreme Verdict, the verdicts are also really good here. I think I'm just gonna Kaheera in hand. Doesn't really feel like I'm ever gonna Force of Negation this turn. I guess I would force a Blood Moon, maybe. Like, I can just do that. I had to play the Fountain over the Hall, since I'm almost definitely casting the Verdict next turn. You'd force a One Ring. Yeah, that's true. Having the Kaheera to pitch to Solitude is also, like, theoretically nice, at least. I could also take, I could take 10 and just Verdict all the Rhinos, but I have a second Verdict, and I think with the Ring in the deck, you have to be a little bit more conscious of your life total. Good chance they have, like, Violent Outburst end of turn also. But then they play, like, right into second Verdict. Yeah, I think I'll take 8 down to 7 if they do... Oh, there's nothing? Okay, we'll take nothing. Could force the Footfalls here. It's pretty bad if they have Ring or another agent, though. So this can make my bindings cost just 1. I can also, like, fetch a Fountain and Binding this turn. Kind of a tough spot. I think I'm just going to fire off the Verdict, though. Yeah, they only have 1 Rhinos left. I notably have no blue card left. If you binding in response to the Ring tapping first time you get to draw a card, no. Nath for the 7 months, thank you. If they counter this, it's not great, but I think it's okay. I guess if they counter this, I probably will Solitude a Rhino. Yeah. I think going to 8 is, like, just really nice here over going any lower than that. They have 4 cards in their hand, which so that they're pretty ahead there. We're ahead on mana, and they don't have any Footfalls left in the deck either. I think One Ring and Murktide would be good at all. Wouldn't be the worst card you could play. It's a bit awkward. I wonder if we ever bait Force on the Binding. Probably not. I'm gonna get Triome and pay 1 for Binding, because this doesn't tap for white. And they pitch a Fire Ice. Why do we wait to cast Binding when they're further tapped out? Because you can cast Force for 0 mana, and if my opponent, like, goes Force for 0 mana, play a Murktide, I think I just lose. I play any threat. Okay, so I can draw an untapped land and Hall block the Fury. Also have, you know, plenty of other cards to answer this. Yeah, it's a Teferi bouncing the Binding in the future. It will be nice, hopefully. No upkeep Binding? Good upkeep Binding. There's a Ring. Quick protection from everything. Draw cards, we can play a land if we draw it. You know, I think I am supposed to use my mana here with the Ring in play. Even if I draw... It's hard to draw actually nothing. Even if I draw nothing, I have the Hall still. Although I'm just going to go Solitude the Fury, Counterspell up. I'm not seeing the hype with the Ring. Just like, watch this stream, and then you'll see the hype with the Ring. You see how the Ring has drawn me 3 cards and fogged the Fury for a turn? And we'll draw me 3 cards next turn, and 4 cards the turn after. Longest the 20. I think this looks pretty good. I'm not sure about, like, if you want to play second Chalice over second Reprieve. Chalice gets better in open decklist, too. Alright, let's keep this. We have Force of Negation, we have Counterspell. If we draw a white source, this hand is golden. I do think Questing Beast should get around protection from everything. No Typhoon? Nope. No Typhoon. I think the card Typhoon is just, like, not very good at the moment, and I think also if, sorry, I don't know why I have 6. If you feel like you, need, like, I don't feel like the deck needs another win con. I mean, lands 25, we can maybe go up to 26. Why does Chalice get better open deck list? So, like, I think last game was a good example. Like, my opponent went Scalding Tarn Pass. I had 2 lands in play and the Chalice. And I didn't know if I wanted to... I think it's really unlikely I hardcast Force this turn. I didn't know if I wanted to play Chalice on 0, because they could be Rhinos or Living End, or if I wanted Chalice on 1 because they're Murktide. But if it opened deck list, I would know which one to do. I also get to know, like, is the Chalice good in this matchup? I can keep on, like, the strength of that or versus not. Okay, we draw a land here, we're in great shape. Well, maybe not that land, but we'll take it. Let's put Kaheera in hand. I think it's better to hold up Counterspell. It's not like we're going to have a lack of cards to pitch this game either. Maybe a little bit worried about a Counterspell on the ring next turn, because they are playing blue. That is a breeding pool, yeah. Probably should be a Steam Vents. Surprised you're still streaming when you leave for Barcelona? Next month. I leave on, I think, Friday the 21st of July, so we have like 3 weeks before I leave. Oh, decklists are due in. Sorry, decklists are due in. It was a month. Oh boy. They named the ring? Oh, can they name the ring? They named Beseiju Who Endures. Okay, I couldn't... Maybe I should... Whoa. They're... Affinity. I guess we just... Let's let that go, actually. Don't tell them to name ring? I mean, I'm trying to be helpful and, like, get good testing. Like, because, like, that pause there, I thought that they were trying to name it and couldn't still. So if I draw... yeah, I think we're always slamming ring. Nice to have the Force of Negation up, too. Ring and Reanimator. I saw Doommake's leagues, or one of the leagues at least, with it. It looked pretty good there. I don't know if I'm going to be playing it, though. We need to send the deck list. Here's my testing team. I'm on the CFB team, CFB Plus. And the deck lists are due Wednesday the 26th. So I'm flying in, and then 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th is testing house days. And then I'm going to try to do a stream on the Thursday before the PT, hopefully. That'd be awesome. I don't think I need to force that. I have plenty of... I can pending it, potentially. I can also force the Thopter Foundry. We got crushed by Thopter Foundry last night. Obviously, we're hoping to draw a white source in our top 3 to just slam the verdict. Things get pretty hard if we don't. But still maybe manageable. Could definitely see trying to cut... maybe we could Otawara for a Mystigate, maybe. The CB provide all the cards. No, they don't do anything. It's just like the team. I don't know exactly how cards are gonna work, but it should be fine. Like, you know, that should be fine. There's connections, and I'll be, you know, bringing my collection at least. This thing like the mana base could tweak. I agree, but like there's a lot of like seeing me draw kind of like hands without any white mana, and you know. I'm still playing the same number of white sources as I've kind of always been playing in this deck, and I'm not up on any white cards, so it feels like it could also just be like some variance. Okay, so do you have a force for that? Yeah, paper rings. Yeah, I bought them from Cool Stuff Inc. using my own code. Code SPIKE for 5% off. So let's go pending the sword. Let's go to second main phase here. Just play this on 0, I think. 1 is definitely like the better number if we in a vacuum, but they probably have zeros in the deck, and I'm drawing 4 cards next turn, so I just want to use my cards. Resolves. Could there be an issue of not finding a card for decks, or CFB gives all the decks? CFB is not going to give all the decks. I think. I don't know. I as far as my understanding of like CFB, that's just not something they do. I don't think there's going to be an issue finding the decks though. Let's not force this. Get that exiled. I don't think it's going to be an issue. Right, down to 10. We need to fight a Solitude at some point. Got time. There it is. They can't dispute, so no need to worry about that right now. Two foil extend art rings sold on TCB for 125 each. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't know why. I got extended art non-foils. I'll take 4. So I'll probably just play a second ring here. Mage, 4 months, thank you. Remember when your opponent would cast an Urza and the game was just over? Those days are kind of over, I guess. Could be maybe good to hold the Counterspell. Should be fine. Oh, missed my attack. I think we'll be okay. Pithing Needle has not been able to target the ring, although I don't know that they named. Maybe thought it was a different deck completely, but it has not been able to target the ring previously. But they tweeted out yesterday that they were going to fix it today at some point. I just don't know when that point is going to be. Is Ring better than Ragavan? Parentheses power level. It's like similar, like format defining. Like Ragavan is the best 1 mana creature in Modern, and like the One Ring is the best, like, and like maybe the best probably the best 1 mana spell in Modern, and the Ring is the best 4 mana spell in Modern. The Ring also goes in a lot of different decks and like just does so much, but I do at this point believe that the Ring is the best 4 mana spell in Modern. And Scroll of Isildur would be good tech against the Ring. Boy, do I not know the name of any of these Lord of the Rings cards. 3-mana Saga. Gain control of up to 1 target artifact for as long as you control Scroll. The Ring tempts you. Huh. Yeah, that's interesting. Tap 2 creatures, put a stun counter, draw a card for each tap creature. Maybe I could have drawn a response earlier. Is it the best 4-mana spell across all formats? A bit harder to say that with like confidence. Yeah, I don't think you want to play Death Shadow Ring deck, but I could be wrong. I'm train limited on stream. It's draft. I keep meaning to, but I just am very, very busy with Constructed. There's a good chance most of my limited is off stream. I will likely do some drafts on stream on Saturday during the challenge. No Shot's better than Sneak Attack? It's probably better than Sneak Attack. I feel like Sneak Attack's kind of mid. Yeah, outcome. I mean, I don't think Tendrils of Agony. As someone who plays with a lot of ants, like Tendrils of Agony it's just a win condition. It's super replaceable, especially in the Thassa's Oracle world. But did I not tap this for green? I didn't tap the Fountain for white. Oh, Minskimbu. Yeah, Minskimbu is better, for sure. Minskimbu is fucked up. Forgot about that card. Ooh, your own ring, huh? Yeah, the Paradox outcome may be better in Vintage, but also like the One Ring is also probably like messed up in Vintage. You know what I mean? It's like, it's I think very possible. I'm gonna save the Narset loyalty here. It's very possible that the Ring is better than outcome. Like it's you can workshop it out. I did draw another force. Maybe I used all my forces. That's a big Teferi. The Ring is so much better, and like I just like I think you want this to be like the top of your curve. I don't think you want to play like 5 drops with it that aren't Solitude. Big Ring is creepy towards Power 9 level? No, definitely not. I mean, with the exception of Time Twister, like the fast mana and the fast mana recall, Time Walk, just are like actual game breaking cards. This is still like just a 4 mana. It's still a 4 mana spell, you know. It's a really good 4 mana spell, but it's not really anything more than that. So they are playing their own rings, which makes you want some number of forces. I think I'm down to Trim, like 1 copy, Trim the Reprieve. Chalice on the draw is probably, they didn't look like they're playing many zeros, we can cut that. Narset also good against their rings. Oh. Don't want to cut it to Teferi. Teferi seem pretty good against them. Just gotta counter, no. 61 card special? Nah. Playing against Tron deck? I mean, I'm a Force of Negation deck. I'm just chilling against them. Let me cut the third verdict. I don't think the Tron matchup's that scary, to be honest. Maybe it is. I'm gonna counter everything they do. This is the plan. Yeah, Rip shuts off their combo, but I'm not too scared of the combo. What's on a multi 6? Yeah, I would play like no more than 1. Resolves. When Sneak Attack in Modern, they almost printed it in Modern and MH2. I honestly don't think it'd be that bad. It's like especially like like it's kind of the same thing with Ring. Like Urza Saga for Pithing Needle is in a lot of ways a really good safety valve on the format. And we still just really haven't seen that many sagas for needles. Opponent gets a Sword of the Meek here. Yeah, that's a great way to put it. With no fast mana in the format, like Sneak Attack is just like, it's a turn 5 play, turn 4, turn 5 play. Besage You is also like a good point for it too. They don't have another land. Probably sack a Clue if I didn't have another land here, although they may have a Dispute. Or should I Rebuke? Whatever that card is. I'm just going to jam the Teferi here. I think they are going to counter it, but I want them to counter this and not my Ring. The good name on answers 3 of the Needle Binding. Yeah, counter magic is good against it. Spell Pierce, Force of Negation, Narset, Shieldred, Karn the Great Creator, Collector Oof, Stony Silence. There are a lot of cards that are good against the Ring, but we just really haven't seen the meta just yet. Which is like largely because like rings are kind of unavailable. In a world where the best Ring decks are playing 4 Binding and 2 other Ending, Needle seems mad. Maybe. Risky Yield, was I auto-yielded? Yeah, I was. They do draw a land, and then they hit the Springleaf Drum too. You can turn 3 if you go Strike Ridge, Vessel, Sack Vessel. Yeah, I mean, that's even still, like, pretty slow, and, like, like worse than Living End and stuff. I don't know. I think Strong Guns, Stanley with Ring now. I mean, Tron is fine. It's still, like, it was a buff for sure, but it's also, like, you know, the Ring going in so many decks, it doesn't feel like just a specific buff to Tron. If people start mainboarding Ring hate, does that make non-Ring decks better? It doesn't make them worse. They do have Sword of the Meek in their hand. Let's just force this so I can slam the Ring. How messed up was Mystic Sanctuary? Incredibly messed up. Seems like a meta where Mystic Sanctuary should never ever be unbanned. And it's like, anyone even like thinking about, maybe Mystic Sanctuary will be fine now. You're either just a greedy blue-white player, which would make sense because we're streaming blue-white today, or you didn't play at the time. But it's just like the opportunity cost of playing Mystic Sanctuary is so low. It's also, Mystic Sanctuary would also be pretty messed up in Murktide, buying you back your expressive iterations. I don't know, Dangerous. It just kind of depends. You have to see how the meta evolves. Like right now, there's just not enough rings in the leagues to like try to counteract against it, and I don't think it will be for a while. We're for 3. We're for 3. We're for 3. Would Splinter Twin or Pod be fine? I think Twin would almost definitely be fine at this point, and I think that. Although, can you imagine, Deceiver Exarch doesn't tap your ring. Birthing Pod and Yawgmoth is pretty scary, but the life loss. Wait, they got a sword of the Meek. How do you not have anything better than second sword to get? This must have been a misclick. They must have meant to get Thopter Foundry. Blue deck run multiple 6 sanctuaries. Yeah. Blue decks would play like 3 usually. Like control decks would play like 3. I think we played 4 in Miracles. I won a PTQ with it one time. But like the Delver decks would just play 1. Or Delver style decks. Delver adjacent. We have another ring in our hand to reset this one, so we don't need to bounce it. Maybe they have one in hand. Yeah, maybe. I think it was just a misclick. Probably still winning this game. Not sure exactly how different it is. Right, down to 6. The life loss definitely feels a lot more real in this build than other iterations we've played. Should be pretty fine to Solitude this turn. Oh, she puts Teferi, huh? So 1/1. Yeah, 4-color ring is really, really good. We only played 1 league, but it was definitely impressive. Another thing about the whole needle stuff is that it's currently bugged. Cards like 9 lives or unlife been suggested. No, they haven't been suggested. I don't hate the idea though. Going down to 2, yeah. I have a lifelinker in my hand. They're not gonna bolt me. Can reset it next turn. Oh fuck. Well, now going down to 2 feels a little bit worse. Should be fine. We're fine. If we were more behind, obviously this would be a little bit more awkward. Not tapping this one for a little bit, I guess. Imagine Galvanic Blast. Well, Galvanic Blast wouldn't do a lot here. With no red mana. And Teferi Time Raveler in play. I shouldn't be thinking this long. If I had 2 more white cards just on Evoke Solitude, it would look a little bit better, I agree. Ring is lame, yeah, for sure. It's lame to play against, very fun to play. Love to see the next Jundissa deck you're thinking about? Yeah, that deck was pretty sweet, huh? So wild to me, the ring is the best thing to do for forming every single deck. Yeah, I know. I mean, it's just too good. It's definitely too pushed. They go admitted the ring is better. You thought it only took 2 weeks? Well, it only took me 2 weeks to admit that Bowmasters was better than I thought. It takes time. You gotta play with and against cards to really evaluate them. Should you have grabbed Kaheera? I don't think so. We can't really lose. Do you expect its time in the format is limited? I don't know. I honestly don't care. I have like at the moment I have no interest in thinking if the ring is going to get banned or not. I don't care at all. I care about breaking the format and winning the Pro Tour. Then afterwards I can think about the health of the format. Blah 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 blah. Right now I'm not interested in even thinking a little bit about is the card too good. I hope it's too good. It's not the time for that. So I'm with the 3 months ago, thank you. Yeah, no interest in thinking. Did anyone switch Prime? Thank you. Man, I miss Garbage Time. Yeah, Garbage Time is pretty nice. Do we not have lethal? I attacked. What are you talking about? No, the hull's only 7. I don't know. We have lethal by just pass. Just beat Rhinos, beat Whir. What's his Prime? Iceman 22, thank y'all. Master 6 months, thank you. Let's mulligan. It says, hope you like this one. I think I put back second ring. It's kind of close. Pretty likely to draw another land. So it's going to be it's Twiddle Storm. Twiddle Storm with the MDFC mana base. I think with my opponent also saying, I hope you like this one. Yeah. Which is cool. It's something I've been meaning to test. That you spell instead of land, which means that the Lotus Field is already in the hand, which is pretty uncommon, but because they only play 1. The Chromatic Spheres are also Matt's technology. I think I like them. Your mana's kind of awkward. You could play Manamorphose instead, maybe. It's awkward if you have blue. And nice to have a blue card for Force. This Matt's deck? I would think so. I would imagine that this is Matt's deck with the ring. I can't imagine. The ring is like insane in Twiddle Storm. To know 39 months, thank you. Nice to be a 4 of Force of Negation deck. The 2 mana red spell that exiles target artifact or deals 2 damage split up, playing that card on the board. I don't really care much about that card. It's like, it depends on what deck you're playing, but like for the most part, if you're Murktide, you should try to counter the ring. Try to counter the ring, or like burn them out. I don't think trying to like exile it on this when it's in play is a good strategy. White Sphere of a Star or both? I don't know. I don't think it really matters. They may have both. Hey, Pro Tourist tomorrow, which deck was the pick? I mean, Dreams go. Okay, this is fine because I have Force for 0. Very cool. I will not be saying what my PT pick is. I probably do have like 2 or 3 options I'm leaning heavy towards, but I just can't say. Nice little 3 for 2. Yeah, Harvest will always find Lotus Field in their deck because they just play 1, or it's the only land they play. I think you can theoretically build it with more than 1 Lotus Field, but I haven't really figured out a good reason to, I guess. You can Pro Tour have more than 50% ring decks with the ring. I don't, but I'm not sure. So I bet they have another Twiddle. Oh, I thought for sure that was going to be Harvest. We'll probably Solitude that pitch Kaheera. Let's go ahead and see what we draw off of our ring, or if we draw something else. Ooh, Doll Amrath. Guess I'll pitch the Pending. So this is a Minamo, and lets us untap our ring. Cycles of Vizier. I think that their last card is a Twiddle, and so I think they've got, you know, Twiddle the new card here. Why go after their creature? I'm about to draw all the cards I could ever need with the ring, so I want to deny them of all the resources possible. Also, like, what else does Solitude do besides exile a creature? I guess it could attack them, but so can Kaheera. I want to deny them mana. Okay, the Return of Vizier. Recross the paths, baby. Okay, very cool. So we get to see their list. Wait, where are your rings? Where are your rings? You have to, I mean, obviously, like, rings are prohibitively expensive. That's probably the answer. But rings are so insane in Twiddlestorm, you get to untap them. The deck can win with Thoracle? Not this build. Or I guess with Wish, right? Also, they can just, like, Belcher you on your upkeep, too. Is Narset kind of sick against them? Yeah. No, we have Narset in the deck. I think every blue deck that plays the ring should play Minamo. Yeah, probably. There may be, like, some weird exception, but I can't really think of any. Does it need rings? This is a crazy question. The ring is a broken card and is even better in their deck than it is normally. The ring is like it is like one of the best Magic cards you've ever seen in your entire life when you can just like twiddle it. And your twiddles turn into like card advantage spells or mana spells. I don't know if there's anything I'm tapping out for here. Yeah, Minamo in 4 colors is a bit awkward, but I think one thing is like it's kind of between like 23 and 24 spells for me anyways, so kind of fine, I think. I say it's a good fit in the Breach deck. The Minamo, yeah, for sure. It untaps Emery also. You would definitely play one, I think. Play Kaheera here? No, we need to be able to counterspell and untap our ring. Do it untap now? Not really. Could though. What does their deck wish for? They have a few different piles. Like they get Underworld Breach plus Tome Scour sometimes. Sometimes they just get a Belcher. Sometimes they get Lotus Field. They got a lot of stuff. Did you ask WotC why this set is Modern exclusive when you advise them? Apart from a few cards, the set seems underwhelming. /4 commanders should have just been a standard set. I didn't ask. No, I don't know. Although I feel like the sets like this do allow you to print the cards that wouldn't be okay in standard set but are like focused for modern. Like it's hard to put cards like Ring, Bowmasters into standard. There's probably a few other good examples, but it's much easier to print them in this kind of set. Yeah, Narset does seem pretty sick here. Yeah, complexity too. Yeah, I think this, and also like, you know, they were definitely talking about how they didn't want the set to be as impactful as MH2 was, and I kind of think that they hit that goal pretty well. Chalice 1's pretty good against them. We'll bring in the Chalices. Get the verdicts out of here. Let's see. Wear Tear kills Belcher. Sometimes they're just gonna slam it. Not that often, but maybe often enough that like the first Wear Tear is okay. 1, Rest in Peace stops the Breach plan, which is not very impactful, but it's also maybe better than any other card I have here. We have Moonlight. It's I guess it's between that and like Moonlight, which cycles. Why one Reprieve in the list? I wanted one more 2-drop is really the answer, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to play second Chalice, first Dress Down, or first Reprieve, and I figured we'll keep playing with the new card. I guess Dress Down's a bit better than Moonlight too. Blue card for Force. We're gonna be like Omnath and Stare move from the first week. Yeah, I mean that's bad, right? At the very least, like I don't know. I typically think that these kind of like, you know, designed for modern and Commander, which this set is, it lets you be a bit more focused in your design. I don't think I'm forcing Abundant Harvest or anything turn 1. No Wear Tears. I brought in 1. I forgot they have Amulet. We should have had at least 2. Hoping to draw a blue card. Yeah, we still have the 4 bindings, which is a lot. Speaking of the wear tear, Strixhaven got away with being standard and obviously busted stuff outside of standard. Yeah, but I don't know. It's like that's okay because Strixhaven's a standard set. That's exactly what you're trying to shoot for. But if you have a set like this, Modern Horizons, you can print cards that impact Modern and like make Modern the format you want it, however you want to shape it. You can do that while also like not having to consider standard at all. That really opens up your design space. I don't know. I'm kind of a broken record. Was there any consideration of forcing Harvest? I don't think so. It's just because they have like 4 Harvest, 4 Recross that all give them a Lotus Field. I don't feel like it was correct to force there. Straight to bottom makes sense. I was hoping for it before MH1. Yeah. I like it. I'm not sure printing broken card goes in your deck qualifies as crafting as a format. This is the kind of like debate lord nerdy. I'm actually kind of comment that's not very helpful usually. The One Ring is broken. It was a big design mistake for sure. But that's I feel like should maybe go more without saying that sometimes you make design mistakes when you're designing sets. Did I warn them about the ring? When I saw the ring, the card looked nothing like this. It was 5 mana, indestructible, and then the rest of the text was completely different. There's like, I think almost nothing. I could be misremembering a little, but I don't think there was any similarity between this text and what I saw. Alright, keep cycling your Viziers. What was the text? I can't say what it was. That's like the one thing I really can't say, because they may want to reuse the designs that they don't use on other cards. Does the ring make the format Teferi Souls of Sunset playable Modern? Yeah, I was kind of thinking about that card. It's awkward that they're like on the same curve, I'm sure the NDA maybe. Yeah. And under my NDA, that is like the one thing I can't say. If ring goes 5 instead of 4, at least you print Shui. Maybe, yeah. Probably, yeah. But at the very least, like it was just a completely different card that also cost 5 mana. Is how I remember it. Could be a little bit off about that. I don't think I'm gonna force this. Does Chalice on 0 ever turn off Pact of Negation? I don't think we're supposed to here just because Chalice on 1 later is more helpful. Is the One Ring better than Uro? I don't know. It's different. Like one thing is like Uro only goes in decks that are playing green and blue. This goes in like any deck. Can I say what the penalty is for breaking my NDA? They kill me. Which is, I thought it seemed a little unreasonable, but it is what it is. Alright, let's go to game 3. There's a chip in my brain that they press a button and my head just explodes. Just play 3 binding, that's 2 wear tear, 3 solitude. Rest in Peace. I mean, Rest in Peace only targets a 1 of wish target, and like they can just wish for anything else. I'm gonna keep this. Chalice is really good against them. What's it? A Molda 6. Chalice 1 or 2? 2. 1. Like 1 is better anyways, but you also can't like. Oh, Chalice on 1 or 2. Definitely on turn 2 with this hand. We're not keeping this on like the strength of Chalice on 0. Maybe Jessica Bloodstone to Fairy Souls of Sunset Rings, you can tap Ring and Lotus. Yeah, I mean that sounds sick. It's like kind of high on the curve. It does sound pretty sick. Ever sideboard 4 Force of Vigor since I have a Kaheera to pitch? I think you could side 1 Force of Vigor because you have a Kaheera to pitch. Very nice to just like say you can't veil me for now. Could counter this. Yeah, let's counter this and just plan on slamming the ring. Just deny them a resource. Could be dead, but not super likely. For whatever that's worth. Now that I have another Dovin's Veto, could wait. It's just like with the Chalice on 1. it's really hard for them to kill me. They do have 6 mana here. I guess I'm dead to Lotus Field plus Vizier plus Belcher. Maybe it's fine to wait. Probably should have played this Flooded Strand, I guess, with this in mind. Left you with the 14 months again, thank you. My opponent is not playing the ring. We saw their deck with Recross the Paths, but it's likely a card availability issue. Ring protection for Belcher? Not really. They just play Belcher, untap their land, untap their Lotus Field, pass the turn. Like, if they have enough mana to Belcher, they almost will always have enough mana to just Belcher me on my upkeep. So maybe I shouldn't be F6, Tom. Ooh, Vizier with no Lotus Field. That's good news. They maybe are on, like, Abundant Harvest and they've just got Chalice here. Ring feature from Icon if you get in Belcher. Yeah, but they're playing Twiddlestorm, not that build. I do need to counter Recross the Paths if they cast it because it does put Lotus Field into play. Does one life total not matter? Not really. Much less than most matchups, at least. Okay, that resolves. You win the Pro Tour, can you bring back Hat Redemption? Sure. Remind me, though. So discard 3 cards. I guess we'll let this trigger resolve first. Discards 3 1-drops. Could have been good to Dovin's Veto. I think I'm okay holding it, though. I think the ring is too much for the format can adapt to reasonable. I think the format can adapt around it, but I do think that it's a warping card where like Spell Pierce, Pithy Needle, Karn, Narset, Shieldred, Force of Negation become better. And like what does that environment look like is still a big question mark, I think. Can't counter this, thankfully. Then they have to pay 5 on their upkeep, which is nice. Which they're not dead to. Can bounce the amulet, turn it off because we have the Chalice. So I've played. That being said, it's still like the crazy card advantage does play really well in the deck, and like maybe it plays better in this deck than it does in other shells too. Could see that being the case. Let's keep this. Obviously no white mana. I think I want another white source. Aired Mesa. Yeah, what's not another white source? I have 2 planes. Get a Mystic Gate in here probably. That being said, if this is creativity, the Force of Negations will be really nice. Have I tried the 14-line Living End? I haven't. A lot of other people are playing the deck though. It's like been tentative backup deck for a little while. I just haven't chosen to pivot to it yet. Did this play Force before the Ring? No, but Ring is like good with Force and good against Ring. Force is good with Ring and against Ring. Most blue eyes when 2 or 3 Mystic Gate. Yeah, but so the thing about like most blue eye players though that play 2 Mystic Gate, these are the players like, oh, my Leyline Bindings are so bad, and they're like, I'm cutting my Leyline Bindings because they're so uncastable. But I think we can play 1 Mystic Gate. I think it's hard to fit 2 in the deck without like you could cut a Hall. I don't think we actually even need the second Hall. You want to tap your Ring here so they can't Binding it to deny the card on their turn. I feel pretty confident that like at least 10 fetches is really key, and a lot of blue white players I think don't play the full 10 or 10. Maybe I'm wrong with that. Could you lend your rings to a fellow PT competitor for looking at his man trader's account by any chance? No. Sorry. 10 fetch lands, maybe not enough to have the rainbow. I mean, it feels pretty good, usually, or historically. Maybe we could go up. Six cards in their hand. If they also have a creativity here, it's pretty bad. Just a Fable, though. I like Narset this turn to deny the Fable. Oh, well. They didn't have a creativity in their hand last turn. Let's just let this go. If we got the cast trigger from the binding, I'd definitely bounce the binding with Teferi right here. I think I'm gonna still actually play the Teferi, just bounce the Shaman. That was the third tier 1 for 3 months. Thank you. That's really nice of you. This card is just a bit of reunion. That's bad news. Does binding get around the protection from everything? Only you as the player get protection from everything. It's not all permanents you control get protection from everything. Kind of like maybe bouncing Fable, replay Fable there from them. Depends on what their hand is. So I'm hoping I'm gonna binding the binding. I'm hoping to draw a fetch land that lets me get Breeding Pool to exile Teferi and I kind of force up on their turn. Then pending the Wrenn and 6 the following turn. Seems like they have Spell Pierce. Oh, whoops, sorry, I should binding the Wrenn and 6 here, I think. Just gotta use my mana. Yeah, creativity's always been a tough matchup. I think 4 rings, 4 Force of Negation maybe makes it to where it's not bad anymore. If my mana had developed better this game, we're in much better shape. What land would you play as extra white source? I'm not sure. I think maybe at this point another fetch land. But I think I want to kind of haul for another white source. Could haul them. I need another land for haul. I think we're going to game 2. Yeah, go game 2. Got a lot of sideboard cards still. So I was playing 1 Pithing Needle for the longest time against Wrenn and 6 decks. I'm now into just 1 Rest in Peace against Wrenn and 6 decks, I think. I got on 0 Verdict. I think I want the first Chalice. Don't want Dress Down. They'll play 1 Wear Tear. Is there a standard build of creativity? The 5-color build, which we just played against, has become the more stock version lately. What is Chalice for? Veil of Summer mostly. Veil of Summer, Spell Pierce. I think I want to play the Flooded Strand because I want to get Island if they played Wrenn and 6. Seems like the right turn to slam the Narset. How am I feeling about getting basic planes? I think I'm feeling okay about it. They have Spell Pierce, that's kind of fine. My hand's like pretty weak to Spell Pierce as is. If they have a Teferi, this is like particularly bad. Although I mean, I guess it's just binding Teferi hold up counter. Shouldn't you lead on Heath of the Fetch since it's the worst one? Yeah, maybe. With no Archmage's Charms, the Heaths are like a lot better. But probably still correct too. Sure. I think I'm gonna hold the Force of Negation. I know where Chalice is good. I don't typically play in this matchup. Yeah, they have a lot of 1-mana spells. They have Veil of Summer post-board especially, but they have enough 1-mana spells for the first Chalice to be good in my opinion. When I'm playing Invasive Surge or a Test of Talents, I would prefer Dovin's Veto for these kind of matchups, which is what I'm playing. Was really hoping to draw a land. Hi, Hobo, GG's. 5 cards in their hand. Yeah, Chalice doesn't stop Fluster, that's true. Yeah, also if I hardcast Force last turn, we'd be in better shape here. 5 cards in their hand. It's a good draw. A lot of mana problems this league? Yeah, I don't know. Could go up to 26 lands. If the one ring could be a color, would be black easily. Maybe black-white. The pro everything's pretty white. Control decks with no cantrips need 28 lands. That's definitely not true. This is not standard. Play a Sacred Foundry in the deck? Kind of interesting. I think we'll... Dovin's Veto, they didn't hit their land last turn. So if they have a creativity, we can stop it if it's only X equals 1 with our Solitude. And say any blue card, very good draw here. They don't have Binding up, so we can draw now. You want to draw before they can Binding your ring. Just passing 6 cards in their hand? They're all reactive? Maybe more creativity, maybe Archons. Don't think we ever need to have double Force up in response to the draw, but I feel like it's fine. Seems like a fine turn to play this. They would have veiled on Solitude. That doesn't work. Veil only subs blue and black things. Sure. Yeah, against Sprint and 6 decks, I think you should play 1 rip. And now that you are not playing... right, draw first, actually. Now that we're not playing Memory Deluge anymore, the rips are a bit better as well. I don't think I'm ever... I could just Force of Negation hard cast with a pitch up. I don't need Veto up here. Okay, game 3. I think on the draw, I want the first Prismatic Ending, though. Ren is a bit harder on the draw. Kind of the only card it's good against. Could go down to Solitude. Seems fine. I didn't mean to cut the words here. They had a Teferi in play, that's why they played... we had a Teferi in play, that's why they played Veil first. Beautiful hand. Need to land, though. On the draw this time. Not doing anything till turn 3. Do you not see the Force of Negations in my hand? Also, the fact that this hand counters Ren and 6 is like a big reason to keep it, which you can't do without Force. I ever lost a Mound Ring? I don't think so. Maybe chat can remember if I have. No, I have at least one time. I'm recalling a time. It was against the Yawgmoth player yesterday. Yeah, with Force of Negation in my hand, I'm just gonna slam the Teferi. And they proliferated my ring so I would die to it. It was really cool. Do you feel like I have to force this? They probably Spell Pierce if they have Spell Pierce. I'd be pretty surprised if they just are holding it for the ring. They have 3 cards in their hand. Guess we can cast Kaheera, but hoping we draw and resolve the ring. Draw land to resolve ring. Alright, I guess we hold up the Moonlight. Cycle end of turn. Usually control decks played at least 4 cantrips with the same amount of lands. Could you explain your reason behind the land count and no deck with cheap draw? You've cut me! I've not played cantrips. Except the cantrips fucking suck, and I really don't want to play them. They're also bad with Chalice of the Void in the deck. In fact, the cantrips really, in my opinion, were there to like so Snapcaster could be a somewhat playable card, and you don't need to. No Rendling Weirs, we played at least one. $25 is a lot. Yeah, $25 is a lot. I think we could be. I think I want to go up to 26. Like we're also 3-0 here. It's not like things have been going super badly. Is it harder to get to 4 lands with this land count? It's compared to more lands and more cantrips, yes. But I want to go up a land. Yeah, like Opt is a bad card in Modern without like ways synergies with it. It's a card you should not play, in my opinion. Blah blah blah. Like counterspells are you play them to feel smart rather than like actually because they're correct to play. Okay, so we can go Hall of the Storm Giants tapped if we plan to Otawara the Binding. Yeah, I think that's fine. The Wrenn and 6 ultimating is a big concern, but I think with the draw a Wrath, getting the ring back is pretty key. But if they have a binding here. Oh, so they're just gonna have the binding again. Right. I don't know why I was thinking that wasn't gonna be the case. I guess I was supposed to play my Otawara as a land, just to cast my Solitude. And then okay, well now we draw. Maybe one turn too late here. I guess I don't want to play that now and let them use mana to interact with it on their turn. We'll use it on, make them do it on theirs. Oh, I also don't have triple whites. Ugh, so awkward. Why do you click so much for hockey? Let me live my life, please. I like to talk with my other hand, you know. I don't like to have to use 2 hands to play. Aren't you lost to Wrenn Ultimate? I mean, it's without the Wrenn in play, it's not like completely unbeatable. Especially with this, with the draw a Wrath. Life total is a problem, though. But let's have a Dovin's Veto. Maybe this didn't make sense. Ooh. Still vetoing, I guess. If they Creativity X was 2, it's not totally unbeatable. That's tough, though. Surprised they didn't Binding in response, though. They let me draw 3 cards. When they have 2 cards in their hand, they also play to Wooded Foothills with the Rimblem in play, which, like, I don't know if that's just, like, really wrong or what. Yeah, let's go for Hardcast Solitude this turn. I think with them having, like, Rimblem with Spell Pierce Flusterstorm, I just want to keep the Solitudes up. They've shown they don't know the tech of Binding Response activation. I think that that's probably true. So I would think they have another land in their hand if they're going to play their land there. Another Binding. Well, this is fine. Down to 10. 2 cards in their hand. It's a big draw. We're kind of blanking the Rimblem here, which is a big deal. If the Teferi stays in play. Yeah, I think we just plus. I guess if I draw a land, I can play Kaheera to block this Dwarf token. I could also hardcast Solitude. Can also bounce their binding, Solitude the Dwarf, or bounce their binding, draw. I could have drawn 3 cards. I should have kept this untapped. Just drawn 3 cards actually. Let's bounce the Dwarf though. Okay. And then now let's play Kaheera with Dovin's Veto up. Could you play Commandeer? I wouldn't at the moment. Seems cool to steal a ring though. 3 cards in their hand. Could have an Archon and just can't cast it. I don't think they play Blood Crypt. Maybe they do. I can't remember. You'd think I'd be able to remember. Go, Kaheera, go. Yeah, they should have 2 black sources. It's just sometimes, do they have like 2 Triomes or a Blood Crypt Triome? I can never remember. Well, they do have a Rimblem, but with no more Dwarven Domains in the deck. I'm not sure if how good that creativity is at least. Maybe run me out of Solitudes. Let's untap Kaheera. This deals with like a little bit of psychic damage to your opponent, which is always helpful. Oh, damn it, I forgot about the Hall. Fuck. We'll kill them next turn. They also cannot beat our hand. Like, I've been liking it as an option in shells. Like, you're specifically wanting it if, like, you don't want to play blue or if, like, white is easier to cast. But the card is a lot better than Remand also. It is, like, getting around Uncounterable is the biggest thing, but it also doesn't get Veiled or Disputed. Which are both cards that are a lot more popular at the moment. Spire Bluff Canal. Typically good against Spire Bluff Canal gamers. What card choices people disagree with? I'm mostly memeing, but... like the mana base and a lot of it was like against Rhinos. People like against Rhinos when I was sideboarding, there were a ton of people saying, why are you cutting Ending over Binding? Ending is just better against like the Murktide Rhinos gamer. But honestly, I'm mostly playing it up for comedic effect here. All right, easy mode, draw a land. Hard mode, draw a force. Being wondering is necessary black-white control to have legs. I mean, I would never play it without it. No, Cycler. Yeah, this is your best matchup, right? Pretty good news. Why won't you sign rips in this matchup? I'm going to sideboard and rest in peace in this matchup. This is game 1. Do you think that this is a sideboard game or something? I think I'm gonna get Plains so I can cast Verdict easier here, and I don't have Archmage's Charm in my deck. So they aren't main phasing it. Why not fight over Teferi? Force of Negation cannot be played on your own turn, can only be played on opponent's turns. Steve's 26 months, thank you. But Force us does cast counter living in on their turn if they slam it. We can honestly maybe let it go. Just try to beat the Curator. Probably not correct to let it go if they had it. Yeah, it should be fine to slam the Teferi here since they only have a Curator and a Jittersent. I can just bounce one, binding the other potentially if they do a Violent Outburst in response. And if they don't, they have to like fight over this. Is Void the hardest deck to play in Modern? It's 1,000 times harder than any other deck anyone's ever put together, yeah. Much harder than like Twiddle Storm, Titan, just any deck really. Okay, this Teferi I'd fight over. Again, you can't force their force. Ooh, Reprieve. Yeah, I think it's easy to look into your opponent's eyes and tell them, no, that doesn't resolve. It breaks my heart every time. How the hell would it beat a Rimblem? It was easy, we just played the One Ring. I think I'm gonna Binding here. I'm a bit worried about them casting like a Curator. Maybe Binding now. Yeah, I guess
That was probably flawed logic, because I could just counter a Curator. They're not finding a single creativity. They did, we countered it. It was, I don't know. Like, Rimblem without a Rin in play is a beatable thing. Rimblem with Rin in play is not beatable. Pretty punished for this basic Plains fetch, huh? Need more reprieves. Why do we pitch second Force? With them having used 2 Forces already, I think counterspells are going to be a lot better. But also, like, you know, I think we're a little too low on cards if we pitch our counterspell instead. I could be wrong. Maybe it's just, like, plenty easy to, like, hard cast this, but also, like, being able to counter their creatures in these kind of games is really relevant. I'm not 100% sure. I really like that we have the word banned in chat, because I love to see all the ways people get around the word. I mean, if they have a third Force of Negation here... Good beats. No third Force of Negation. Yeah, but it's maybe better to keep the other Force still, I'm not sure. Oh, they just have another living end. I guess we're dead. Yeah, I could have played that one better. Narset's not terrible. Draw for verdict. That was on my turn. I'm dead. I was dead. I just got all the bindings. Is fine. Yeah, that was my upkeep. Or yeah, listen, I'm dead. That's my upkeep. I can't draw a 4-drop and cast it. I'm dead. Yeah, let's see if they can win a sideboard game. I like the verdict here. Lets me like slam it to Teferi a bit easier. Why not Jace the Mind Sculptor? The One Ring is much better than Jace the Mind Sculptor. What's my game playing against Tron? I think the fact that I have 4 Force of Negations in the main deck means I don't need to worry too much about having sideboard cards for Tron. But maybe I'll play the matchup a couple times and change my mind on that. Mono Red Trash, possibly a good show for the ring. I don't know. I don't think the Mono Red Trash deck is very good in general. Gab, thanks for the raid. 4-0 with blue-white. That's the first league with the deck. It's been pretty good so far. Well, down a game against Living End. I just have Force of Negation up here. Obviously, even nicer if this just resolves. Let's go. Oh, whoops. Probably not too punished for not playing this turn. Like, I don't know how they're getting rid of Teferi and Cascading, but probably could have played it here. I guess it's better not to not play it, actually. Because if they have Foundation Breaker, they just get to use it. But now we'll play it. Yeah, that's true. Could get griefed. Although if they cast grief, they would look at my hand and concede probably. Well, fast game 2. To mulligan the 1-lander. I keep 7. 5. This is how we lose, maybe. Although our 5 is pretty good, huh? Is it pretty bad counterspell? Solitude, since I don't have a second blue. Would you play 4 Force of Negation on that ring? No, but it doesn't matter. You should play 4 ring, you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm excited for Snap. We're doing an hour of Marvel Snap today, because when we did it earlier, the client crashed an hour in. I've also been playing, I've been playing Snap like every single day. The game is really fun. Okay, good draw. Rather keep Counterspell than the 4-drop. I disagree. Like, if you mean the 1 ring, I think I really like keeping the ring here. Especially because you go ring, if it resolves, then if they're living in, you just have verdict after it. You know what I mean? And then, to me, it feels pretty clean. An hour of Dark Souls win when Miyazaki pays me to play. Snap versus PT testing. I could take an hour off the PT testing to help pay for the trip, I think is fine. To take an hour off to play Marvel Snap. and pay for the PT. Oblivion, 9 months, thank you. I only have 3 chalices. It's kind of funny. Is Reprieve better than Remand? We have Force of Negation. Well, we also have Solitude, and you know, it gets around Veil, gets around Dispute, gets around Uncounterable. Yeah, I'm hoping they Besage you my Chalice really badly. Looks like maybe an Otawara. Why not play the Chalices out? Chalice on 0 counters Chalice on 0. Although I feel like at this point chat is mostly trolling. Deck tech for Darth. We'll get to this later. More flash decks, huh? So I rest in peace, and my opponent goes Besage you, Chalice, Final Outburst. I get the land to play Reprieve. So this is bad if they have Force of Vigor. Yeah, we're just on the trigger. Well, I have the Chalice in play to like stop that from doing anything for now. Okay, Curator time. Good play. I guess we slammed the ring. Nice. For a matchup where we mulled to 5 and then drew 3 Chalices, it's funny that we're still like so ahead, I think. Yeah, I'll get to this after this match, I think. Okay, I have protection from everything, opponent. Grief, just in the bin. Just in the bin. Yeah, this is your best matchup, I think. Imagine if they dispute. Yeah, maybe they dispute. The ring's just colorless. Wasn't it better to play Rip of Ring? No. Did you not see this game so far? Did you not see what's going on? Oh, okay, so that's the end step. Yeah, I think I drew the rest of the piece off the ring. I don't know, I think the blue-white players are really just trolling. Giving, like, the most... I don't know, the worst feedback possible. Alright, this would probably be the grief and concede line. We'll see. Okay, they get to take my other verdict. Holy shit. Are we gonna lose? Maybe not grief and concede, huh? Okay, we could lose. This is fun. I'm feeling something, huh? Lose 2. Draw a counterspell. I just lost. I mean, I could go... Can't even draw another verdict. I just lost. Yeah, I guess I could cycle try and find a Solitude, but I'm just dead to the 1 ring. Wow. Could have jumped to Kaheera. I was dead to the ring if I jumped with Kaheera. Not much to say about that. Did you misplay? I don't even know. Don't even know. Okay, let's make some changes. Let's run it back, though. I want to cut the Hall of the Storm Giants for another fetch, I think. Second Hall for 11th fetch.